the camera's going to pull away from Miss Jin up there on the plateau. And it returns to Zeef's detective agency. The chair from the workshop has been pulled into the garage, and Dylon is seated with arms bound behind him under the watchful eyes of Zeef and Worram. He came to a little while ago. You unbound him so he could drink, and then secured him again. He struggled a little, but is in no state really to resist at the moment. He appears to be seething, annoyed at have been gotten the best of, frankly.
Understandably. So he's on the floor, and Zeef is sitting cross-legged on top of Stomper in front of him. Just sort of sitting on him, looking at him.
Cool.
Just say, are you literally sitting on him like a fucking lily toad?
Totally, exactly. Just cross-legged, perched on the very top of the... Yes.
Worram is kind of leaning back against the speeder. Kind of looking at the two of them.
Dylon shifts in the rickety chair that was wheeled in from the workshop and says,
"Okay, Zeef. So now what are you going to do with me? Put me in another hole?"
Zeef shakes his head with a touch of sadness in his eyes. Says, Dylon. We could have been palos, It didn't have to go this way. You just got out, you just tasted freedom, and you chose to throw it all away? Coming after Misa? After all these years? Should have let the past in the past, my friend.
I came here to do business, and found that you already had that Gungan snout of yours in that business. I'm not the one out here causing trouble. That's you, Zeef.
Can I just do make a straight check to get him to elaborate on his business?
You can make a coercion check, I think would be the best, but you can try to charm him or deceive him,
I am gonna try and charm him.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and charm him.
It's gonna be a red and 2 purples.
Actually, no. I'm gonna deceive him. I'm gonna do this detective style. I'm gonna deceive him and tell him, make him think that I already know everything. And that I am about to set him up as, a snitch to his bosses. I'm gonna make them believe that he's the one that gave it all up. If he doesn't come clean, sort of thing.
Well, unsuccessfully, but with advantage, you don't convince him to spill anything with your spiel, but what do you try to tell him?
I tried to make him believe that I already knew everything and see if he would spill that way under threat of, I'm going to set you up as the snitch as far as your bosses will know if you don't come clean with me now.
He goes,
Zeef, they've got a holo recording here in the warehouse from last week, from before I was even on the planet. They already know your nose is in their business. 5 years ago, you got off Narset. You left me in a hole. The Karkaro brothers, they didn't come after you. You stuck your nose into their business. And now that I'm out of the hole, it is my pleasure to go back into business with them and get a little revenge on the side, on the clock.
Zeef just laughs, how's that working out for you so far, Dylon?
Alright, following on that, I'd like to try a negotiation with them.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, because you're not a guy with all this history. Sure.
Yeah, so I think I would say to him, well, Dylon, looking at the position of you and Zeef here, it doesn't seem like you're in much of a position to be taking that revenge you were speaking of. And the huts are only a short call on my comlink here away from picking you up. But perhaps we could come to an arrangement where you get to keep living free here on the outside, and we get some information that'll help us deal with your bosses. I'm gonna spend
You want to use a destiny point?
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
3 success, 3 advantage.
He goes,
Okay. Untie me. I'll let you know what I do. But untie me first, Zeef. This is undignified.
Zeef kind of chuckles to himself. I thought you'd be used to being in chains by now, Dylon.
I mean, we haven't healed him at all, so he's still probably pretty rough, I would imagine.
yeah.
Yeah.
He surges against his binds in the chair.
I'll put you in a hole so deep, Zeef, they'll never dig you out of it. Okay, fine. They know you're here, Zeef. And they're glad. They're both coming. For you. The operation here? Shit, they can set that operation up anywhere. But now that they know you're here and you've stuck your nose in, you've made it personal. They're coming for you, buddy. I'm just the tip of the fucking spear. Because everybody's coming for you. The bosses, and all the old boys. You just wait till Sully and Jill show up.
Zeef's eyes kind of widen slightly at the mention of names he hasn't heard in a very long time, but he tries to downplay his reaction, like he's trying to be the cool guy in charge here.
He looks back and forth between the two of you and he goes,
Satisfied, Zeef?
Zeef doesn't answer and instead turns to Worm. What do you think?
I mean,
You think this guy's telling the truth to us?
He goes,
What else can I tell you? From what they told me, you already know everything. You've been in the warehouses, you've been under the dock. Yeah? So they sent me here to stop you, because you're all the way up there fucking east. I don't have anything to tell you, other than you don't want to handle what's coming for you. You're not going to be able. You got lucky.
Okay, Zeef hops down off a stomper, landing pretty heavily right in front of Dylon, and he crouches down so that he's eye to eye with him. And he says, "It's not what you're gonna say, it's what you're gonna do for me." He fishes a comlink out of his pocket and holds it up in between the two of them and says, "You're gonna call your bosses. You're gonna tell them everything is okie day and you got me captured. And you're gonna tell them where to come pick me up."
says,
I'm not going to do that, Steve. You're the one who's a turncoat, not me. We were all in that hole together. I'm not double-crossing the boys.
you're going to have to make a check on him to get him to do that.
yeah, make a coercion
Not
check.
just wave it in his face.
No, yes, I was planning to follow that up with a check.
Absolutely.
And it will be
Absolutely.
coercion.
So you do not succeed when you jump down and wave it in his face. You've got an advantage to pass on. He goes,
You talk real big for a guy with 2 stim packs in. Hey, buddy, stick a couple of stim packs in me and we'll have round 2. You win, I'll do what you want. Otherwise, I'll knock your fucking head off like I was gonna do outside. Next time you stay in front of me, pal, you're not sticking me in the back with no needle.
See, Dylon, this is why you got locked up in the first place. You just don't fucking learn. You're on the ground. It's over. The fight is done. You're gonna do this for me, or you're gonna fucking die.
Yeah, buddy, and I would rather die than be a double crosser, and that's the difference between me and you.
Gonna die in the gladiator pits for the huts. That's what you're gonna do.
he says,
Zeef lets out
Right.
a long sigh and
says
this
go
isn't
ahead.
working.
Put me in another hole, Zeef. This time they'll kill me. That's on you, buddy. The last hole was too. The way I see it, I'm the good guy here. I'm doing my job, cleaning up a double-crossing old pal of mine. And now that he's got me, he's trying to make me a double-crosser again. Or what? You throw me to the hut. That's great, Zeef. That's your story. The guy who keeps double-crossing his friend.
Or you just kill him.
I mean,
Put him in a
right?
different... Put
Now
him
it's like,
That's fine too. That's
Worm
your
will
choice.
Draw a pistol on you if you try and kill this guy. Just saying.
Zeef's not
Ugh.
not interested in killing this guy. Zeef's trying to get this guy to work with him right now.
No, I'm
But
just
he's
saying.
not
If
gonna
you
do
go that
that,
route,
you know?
like,
He's not.
Worm is not going to let you kill.
That's
Zeef's
how
not
you
going
got
that
out of the
route.
hole.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
You're not
last
gonna
time
do
you
in the
flipped
garage.
on these guys and they went in the hole, and now you're asking him to be, last time I was a snitch and you all went in the hole and I didn't. Hey, you be a snitch with me, and he's not going for it. You know what I mean? Succeed on the check and he will, but he's not going to go. Worram might succeed on negotiating.
I'm
with
gonna
him
take-
doing it, but
I'm going to take a completely
Yeah.
different tack, and I'm going to, because it's the only check I haven't done, I'm going to try and hit him one more time, but with a charm check.
okay,
After
that's fine.
after all of that,
Maybe you can win him over.
I'm going to be
but-
like,
yeah.
"Hey, Dylon, look, things got
But
out
we're
of
going to
hand a
go
little
to
bit
Worram
there."
first.
Yeah,
We're
sure.
going to go to Worram first.
Yeah, Zeef,
All right.
Zeef
All
has
right.
no intention of killing this guy. Just to put that out there,
I
to make
get it, but
so that
he-
Worram knows that.
Okay,
He-
yeah, no, it's fine.
He, on the other
I just
hand,
wanted to
in
let you know where
Dylon's mind,
Worm's- Yeah.
My or
Your
else
threats are
is
credible?
we're giving him to the Huts who presumably will kill you. So effectively we're killing you, but like Zeef doesn't want any more
Well,
blood
but,
on his
yeah,
hands in that
it's
way, so
the-
And
Yeah.
in
Worm-
Dylon's mind, that will just be reinforcing the dirtbag that he knows you to be. You know what I
Right.
mean? And he's not gonna, unless you succeed, he's not gonna flip on the boys. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I
Like
mean, for
you
Worm-
did 5 years ago.
that's what passes as the law in this
Society.
sector of the space, so
Totally.
that's good enough for him. Plus, like, it doesn't hurt him to be on the good side of the Huts right now, so
totally. This guy could equal some fuel for us, you know.
yeah. So that's not like a negative in his mind. We could probably do it as a combined check or something if you wanted. Might
Oh,
us
you give him
better
the
odds.
skill ranks? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As Worram tries to, like, comes over and is like, listen, don't threaten him. You know what I mean?
Can I use my
little,
previous
like-
advantage to upgrade this roll?
You can
Well, you
also
give
get
it
a boost.
Yeah.
And you can get a second boost from Worram as well. That's fine.
Come
A
on.
triumphant no success.
Oh,
There
you
is
have,
no success, but there's a
Do you have
triumphant
good
full
comp?
advantage. So you did not succeed, but you get a triumph. So what do you want to get out of it from the triumph? But you are not successful at
Getting him to
talking
do the
him
thing.
around,
Okay.
you know, but you get something else.
so what exactly were you trying to do on this one?
I
To,
wanted him
like,
to like call back into the bosses and report success and say that he had captured me and like arrange a meet for me to ambush, basically.
Okay, so he's not going to do that.
He's not going to do that. No.
Right. That's
But
and
triumphantly,
anything short of that is kind of useless to us in this situation. So I'm not sure what a triumph would get us. Maybe he'll name drop someone else in the crew who's on planet that we could grab.
he goes,
I'm not going to crack, right? Sully and Gil are going to be here for me soon enough.
okay, here's something
How
that
about-
I
how
can
about-
spend the triumph on. It is at this point that you notice that clutched in his hands behind his back is his own communicator, which is blinking rapidly.
Oh shit!
And
This sneaky monkey. Okay.
we're going to... What's the destiny point look like? Oh, I'm going to spend 2 of those destiny points, and we're going to cut away from you guys, but right as the garage door explodes inwards.
Ugh.
And then we're going to move the camera up to the Expat Club, where Xavix Silverstar,
Heyo.
intergalactic bon vivant and entrepreneur, is coming in through the double doors of the Silverstar Suite. He has his newly reformed class steel armor in a package from the armorer under his arm. He is wearing his swanky Calrissian coat. However, things are weighing heavily on the mind of Master Silverstar as he enters. All is not well in Fishtown, despite his success towards the race.
Oh, there's so much on my mind.
As you come in, your serving droid, Natasa by designation, is already in the public part of the suite as you enter, and comes over to relieve you of the package of armor as you do. She asks if you were successful during the day, Master Silverstar.
I have no idea if I was successful or not, but at least we got the Hut's permission to operate in the area. Would you mind putting the armor inside of the storage room for me? And lock the door when you're done.
With an affirmative response, she heads over and stows that, securing it from prying eyes, and then moves over to make you a refreshment and prompts you to continue musing aloud as part of her social subroutines.
Now, I'm afraid my companions that I was working with earlier may be in too deep right now. And I even heard what I could only imagine was a small explosion in the background.
She says,
You don't think that charming car droid of theirs is in any danger, do you?
There's a possibility. There's a definite possibility. But I still have matters to attend to, and I still need to get stuff done. I think my first course of action is to wait here for Zeef and Worram to get here, and then contact Kovar, which I'm sure I can do from my office.
she indicates that is such, and brings you over a drink, and then says that she'll get things set up back there. The office of your suite here at the Expat Club has all of the amenities that a traveling business person might need. There is a communications terminal with a hookup to the local holonet beacon. utilities that you can use for whatever kind of business you need. You have access to the historical records of the expat club that haven't been sealed, and as a member of the club, you've got access to some of those records as well. And of course, a at present fairly small library of contact for the other members of the club who are present at the casino at the time.
That's perfect. Yeah, I'll definitely try to ring up Kolvar and see if he can answer.
Yes, you are very shortly speaking to a life-size hollow bust of him that is projected up from a point just beyond the center of your desk.
Well, Kolvar, I've got some good and bad news. Which would you like to hear first?
Start with the bad, Master Silverstar.
The bad news is this race is heavily going to be in favor of the Hutts.
That might be expected. I'm sure they'll do whatever they can to have their man win.
Well,
what's the good news?
Well, my question to you is how far are you willing to push against the Hutts, or would you rather just not fight that fight?
That all depends on what's on the line. If this is going to be a moneymaker and something that we want to continue doing, maybe we can give them the win. If they're angling to take my casino away from me, then obviously I want our man to come in first. Either way, I want to see that Imperial downstairs lose this race, Mr. Silverstar.
Yes, I can imagine that would be good. Well, the good news is we have their blessing to start working on this. They don't have a word back if we can do the race, but I'm pretty sure that we can start working on it for now.
It says, I hear Vork is off-world. Any word from Spider when he's coming back?
You know what I would also like to get started on is finding a ship for Worram.
It says, talk to Thude. I know he doesn't fly, but he might have something squirreled away in a hangar. You're really going to have to butter him up, though, if he's going to part with the ship.
Okay, I'll work on that. Thank you very much for your time.
Of course. Thank you for your business. He grins, and then the hologram disappears.
All right, I need to call out the Ivana as well, the ISB agent. I haven't talked to her in a while. She probably needs to know what's going on. Can I hit her up, or do I need to break out of the wristband?
Maybe you should have a couple more drinks first before you attempt that operation, Master Silverstar. You don't want to do that delicate lightsaber work, without some Dutch courage. No, you see that there are a half a dozen Imperial officers that have rooms here in the casino hotel, and her name is on the list, as is the lieutenant commander with the deep pockets, who's too young for his rank, and the Baron, and then a handful of other officers.
Okay, so I can find her later. That's fine.
Yeah, she's in the entry there. You can try to ring her up, but nothing indicates that she's currently, at her terminal.
Too. What time of day is it?
It's evening. As you came in, the main room down on the first level was pretty packed with remnant troops drinking, and you saw that most of the officers were up in that private area to the back of the room. She's probably down there, keeping an eye on the flock.
Well, I should go down there then. I can meet her down there, and then maybe meet up with Thude if he's in the area as well.
Yeah. As you head down, you see that Rathamith is not with him anymore, but Thude is still down. He is drinking with a couple of remnant pilots and also Griff Halloran, the racer. As you make your way across the floor, he waves down to you. And then you see him turn to Halloran and begin speaking animatedly.
If he's waving me over, I'll make my way over there.
As you make your way across the floor, you're intercepted by a droid that asks if you need any service from the bar.
No, thank you.
Right.
Or I'll take one equivalent whiskey.
All right, it's Corellian whiskey. It's just whiskey in
Cool.
Star Wars. Yeah,
Sounds good.
they have some Corellian whiskey. They don't have the top shelf stuff at present because the income stream is pinched. As you make your way over, Thude is peppering Griff with questions about his service, the years he was flying. He's apparently saying that there was a chance that they might have flown against each other. And Halloran says that no, even though his larger unit was part of that operation, his actual vessel was not in that campaign. And Thude says, that's good. If an ace like you was out there, I might have come away with worse than nerve damage. And we wouldn't be here sharing those drinks. But all that's over now anyway. Some of you folk might even make expat material if we can clear the riffraff down below out and get some more of the moneyed crowd in here. They don't like drinking with the rank and file. A few too many stormtroopers, but some of these officers might be our kind of people. What do you say, Mr. Silverstar? He gestures for you to join them. I was just speaking to Mr. Halloran here. He's a veteran, you know.
Well, thank you for your service.
Halloran chuckles roughly and doesn't raise his drink to that. He goes, I'm glad I got out when I did.
Fair enough, but yeah, I could agree. If the rank and file weren't here, maybe we could increase the class of individual that shows up here, maybe even spice this place up a bit. Dude, actually had a question for you if you have a second.
Away from the table?
No, I think here would be fine. I have another racer that we were going to be sponsoring through, and I was wondering if we could find a spaceship for him.
He says, well, I know the Hutts have some fighters up at the landing platform that they have there for security. They might have a few more in the city. You know,
well, I just
Starfighter is a expensive piece of property. There aren't too many people on world who might have something like that sitting in a shed somewhere.
Well, I did just talk with the Hutts. I'm waiting back to hear from them on something else. But you said there might be another one in the city somewhere?
Go ahead and make a check.
Mm-hmm.
Hit him with the charm.
Hit him with that Silverstar magic.
Successful.
And he goes, well, I know there's at least one. It's right down below in one of the garages. It's mine. But, I mean, it's mine.
Well, what's it worth to you?
It's got tremendous sentimental value, young man. Not for sale for any price whatsoever. You understand?
What about for rent?
He laughs and looks across at Halloran and he goes, well, I don't think Mr. Halloran's going to appreciate us having this conversation. Griff goes, I'm just hoping we're having a race.
Well, Griff, this would really help our chances of having a race. In fact, let me do a negotiation check on that one, see if I can really, really get him into this.
Yeah, the difficulty of the check against the and Halloran's going to give you a boost. He goes, that is the whole point of this, isn't it, dude? To have a race. We need ships, don't we? And you were just talking about how fast your birds were. He's going to give you a boost. And the difficulty, however, is going to be 2 reds and a purple.
Should take a destiny.
You know what? I'm gonna choose a destiny point as well.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
What do we got?
2 successes, 2 advantage.
He goes, this is for your friend. Or he wasn't at the party the other night, was he?
Thude was at the party. He was hanging with Rick, and Worram was in Worram's chair.
Thude, did Thude meet Worram? I don't know.
I don't know. I know Thude was there for the tongue trick. He's very impressed by the tongue trick that he saw.
Fair enough. He goes, who's the pilot? And you say, my Arthurian friend. He's the associate of Zeef. He goes, the fellow with the tongue. He goes, the Ithorian.
The Ithorian, yes, the calm one, in meditating in the forest area.
Says, Ithorians aren't usually spacers. I'll have to meet him.
I can arrange that.
I'll consider it. That's
enough.
as much success as you're going to get out of him at this juncture.
I can't ask for anything more, and that sounds very good. That's a very good deal.
Yep.
Can I use one of the other advantages?
You can use them both.
One of the advantages is that Halloran is like more excited about the fact that things are getting done, and he sees when I'm getting things done in front of him.
Sure.
Like, in a moment's notice, I just got something done in front of him. So I want him
Halloran
to be
will
impressed.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reputation increases.
And then the other one is, let's see. I don't know. I would just say just more reputation with the expat club.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I'm not
So
asking
does
too
food.
much. I'm not
You
trying
know
to
what I
force
mean?
them into it. I was reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. And frankly, he was excited when Rathamus proposed this, and then it never went anywhere. And like, yeah, all of the people at the expat club, Food's the guy who wants this to happen. He's going to get to watch some starfighters fly around and shoot at each other. That's great. On his planet, they duel instead of race. But, racing is fun, too. So
Let's go from
you can
there.
feel the
and,
presence of the ISB agent who has already noticed you from your entrance into the bar, projecting from above as you drink your whiskey and listen to two elderly gentlemen talk about impossible starfighter maneuvers.
Does she come over to me?
No, she does not.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll walk over to her. That's fine.
Right. She is at the bar up at the top in the private area on slide 22 instead of at the big table, which is currently full with boisterous Imperial officers who are singing some kind of jocular, academy song. Their volume is, in their minds, making up for their lack of tune, but that is not actually true.
Some hooligans here.
Mm-hmm.
They have many, many glasses on the table in front of them.
So she's at the bar. There's a bunch of people at the table.
Yeah.
Oh man, is this
The Imperial Navy is
money
drunk.
again? Oh no!
I mean, you have to decide, right? To go make a ton of money playing Huntaro with a table full of drunk sailors, or you can talk to the attractive blonde with the icy demeanor at the bar. It's up to you, Xavix Silverstar.
Just for extra context,
I know this might be the most difficult question that has been posed to you in the entire campaign, if not the the session. It was like, oh, do I stop a mugging or not?
This is the real dilemma right here.
Now I'm
Just to offer up some meta context, whichever one you decide, you're going to get a half a text message from Zeef pretty soon saying we're under attack. Because whenever we do shift back there, after that garage door blows, I'm going to be sending a message to Xavix.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that.
So you heard the explosion, so at some point this message is coming, just so you know.
No,
Right,
I understand that.
I'll go talk to the ISB agent. If I sit down for an Huntaro match, we're going to be here for a while.
Yes, because those take a while to play, but they're super profitable.
It would be so much fun.
There's so many guys. You would just you would clean their clocks. They're all wasted already.
Oh gosh, look how much money that is. At least what, 2,000 per two.
I mean, it might be small stakes for some of these guys. It wouldn't be like the game you just had where everybody's a high roller. But imagine you could clear 150 credits out of everybody at the table except the other two guys that you're clearing 500 credits out of. And yeah, but instead you're talking to the ISB agent. You sit down and she goes, Silverstar?
Ivanka? Or Ivana?
Ivana? You guys said it.
Ivana. I think it's Ivana, yeah.
In my notes, she's ISB agent Hot Pants. So.
Ivana Hot Pants.
But that's not, that's meta. So, yeah, Ivana, Ivanko, whichever,
That's it. That's her full name, is Ivana Ivanko.
Whichever
Ivana Ivanko, yes.
Agent Ivana Ivanko. Oh, yeah, sure. That is
or
EU as
Vana Vanko. There you go. Now it's a Star Wars name.
Ivana Vanko is
Ivana
a Star
Vanko.
Wars name.
Yeah.
Ivana Vanko is a Star Wars name. Yes.
Ivana, good to see you again.
Says you've been busy.
I've had to be. How about yourself? I can see that the troops are in top shape.
She gestures over her shoulder. She goes, yes, it's something. At least I have some civilized company.
Yes. Unfortunately, the word around the other areas in town stating the more lackadaisical status of your troopers. I'm a little surprised to see that they've let themselves go this much.
She looks over and she goes, "What do you mean from town?"
I've heard it's from several sources around. I'm not going into it anymore. I'm just saying it.
Right. Well, she goes, "Please go into it more." She leans forward. She's an ISB agent. She leans forward in the bar. She goes, "What do you mean from town? We've kept ourselves confined to the expat club. We're waiting for the race to go on, and then I can get off this Iceball."
Surely you don't think the information of you being here at the expat club would evade the larger overlying authority in the area? The Huts, maybe?
She says, "The Huts and the expats have an arrangement. We are clients of the expat club. They are allowed to operate here. This is a business, and we are there."
Huh?
Yes.
Fair enough.
They are our hotelier.
Well, it hasn't gone unnoticed.
Says, if they can't continue to run their business because we showed up as guests, that's not my problem.
Fair enough. Well, I wanted to let you in on the status of everything. We've gotten about half our track or half our race rings ready, and we've got permission to operate in the area. I was wondering.
She gestures dismissively. The minutia of what you need to do in order to get this race to go on does not interest or concern her at all.
What concerns me is if she has something for us to use. Maybe she has some.
You're gonna have to make a check to get that out of her then, and asking for specifics versus not.
I specifically want to know if she has any access to other rings in the area, or another fighter that she can let go for the race. And I'm going to negotiate that. Ooh, here we go. We'll make a roll for that. Oh, got a triumph.
But not a success.
Can I use a destiny point for that?
I mean, to make it a success instead of a triumph?
Don't you have to have a success to use the triumph?
No, you can have a non-successful triumph. All of the successes, including the success generated by the triumph, were canceled by failures, but the triumph still stands. So you are not successful, but triumphantly something else cool happened. So she doesn't have anything to provide to help in moving forward in the planning.
What kind of check was that?
This was
negotiating her to work with me a little bit more, to be more of a partner.
Actually assist in. She's like, "No, we're here to watch the race that this hotel is putting on. We are not here to
another ship that didn't
put on a race." She goes, "We have shuttle. The shuttles we came here in."
I got
because maybe you can turn it into a success,
Yeah, when first acquired charm, coercion, deception, negotiation, making checks to spell, spend a blank and gain an additional. Spend a triumph to gain additional success. So I can do that once.
It will, yes, because if it creates one success, then you will be successful because you didn't have any outstanding uncanceled failures. So you are now successful. And she goes, "How can I help you, Silverstar?"
Real quick, just to double check, what else do I have on my list? I know I've got the race course, which will be done by the Huts because they want their own. I've got half of the race rings left. I need another starfighter besides the one that could.
And you guys need a prize, and you need people to come and show up, and you need an announcer and stuff like that.
Yeah, I got that. But right now I need the ships and the rings.
Right. She goes, "I don't have any starfighters. I have the shuttles we came here in." She goes, "And the only place I know that would have rings like that would be a flight academy. And there aren't any Imperial flight academies in Hudson. In fact, there aren't many Imperial flight academies around at all anymore."
Okay. Well, that doesn't help me much, but I guess that works.
She goes, "That's not the line of business I need, Silverstar." She taps the small ISB insignia on her jacket collar. She goes, "Spy stuff? pilot stuff.
Okay, well then, for spy stuff, maybe you can help me deal with the huts since we are working in their area.
She goes, ha! It's
She's not very
impossible.
helpful at all.
Goes, It's impossible to deal with the huts these days. Lording it over everyone, how they've got a 2,500-year-old star empire. It was so much easier when we had an empire.
It was definitely a simpler time, that's for sure. All right.
So tell me a little about yourself, Silverstar. That's an uncommon name on Cantor. I might have looked it up a little bit. There was a Silverstar in politics back in the good old days.
Yes.
She squints. She goes, "You're a lot younger than he was, though."
You're probably talking about my father.
She sits up. Really?
But I'm sure you knew that already.
I assume nothing.
Yes, my father was or worked in the Empire. That is for sure.
And
what?
She looks you up and down. She says, "Well, you don't appear to be living any horror story."
I choose to live the way I choose to live. Regardless, not too big of a thing that I would get into. Maybe we can speak about this in private sometime.
She chuckles and she goes, "You really think anywhere in a hotel like this is private?"
Maybe not here then. Maybe on one of your shuttles.
She laughs. She goes, "You're very forward, Mr. Silverstar." She goes, "Maybe try your luck with the Navy boy." After they have a few more drinks.
I'll laugh it off and wish her a good evening. I'm going to make my way towards the door.
As you head down the stairs, down to the main floor of the bar level, your communicator beeps with a text from Zeef that says, things is going down over here. The first text you sent him, right? We're into some shit over here. After the explosion happens, you won't have time to send another text message.
I was thinking he would receive under attack.
Oh, okay.
Like half a message.
Okay, right.
Something he would contextualize to me.
So
we're in trouble.
You have two texts from Zeef.
I would walk quickly out the door, not so quickly as to rise suspicion, but quickly out the door, and call down the bot that I had that was taking me around town.
All right, so you summon the valet bot from your communicator, and the speeder that you were riding in earlier pulls out around the front of the expat club as you descend the broad marble stairs of the casino. Zeef's is not far from the casino, and as you leave the casino compound and pass through the gap in the large wall that encircles the complex itself, you can see the glow of a fire from behind Zeef's building.
I'm going to use a perception check as we're approaching.
Good call.
Go ahead. Honestly,
no, just three threat.
No success.
Yeah.
3 threat and dark side. You take some strain there, buddy. You're gonna take 3 strain. That's a big one. And all you feel is panic and conflict.